When we want to understand how we multiply decimals, it's easiest to think in terms of fractions. Why? Because multiplying fractions is actually really simple. So let's say we wanted to multiply 6.7 times 0.21. Let's write these as fractions and see what happens. 6.7, that's just the digits 6, 7, and then 1 0 in the denominator. 0.21, that's just the digits 2, 1, and then 2 zeros in the denominator. When we multiply that, well, our numerator is going to be 67 times 21, and our denominator is going to be 10 times 100. 10 times 100, that's 1,000. 67 times 21, I think I'm going to want to write out. 67, 21 times. Multiply in the ones place. 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 6 is 6. Multiply in the tens place. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 6 is 12, 13. Add them up. 7, 10, 4, 1. That's 1,407 thousandths. Okay. As a decimal then, I'll have the digits 1, 4, 0, 7, and then 3 digits after the decimal point. What's happened here? Well, hopefully you know what the pattern was going to be before we saw it, right? We just multiplied the numerators, so we ignored the decimal points and multiplied. And then we multiplied the denominators. What did that amount to? Well, we multiplied 10 times 100 and got 1,000. In general, we totaled the number of digits after the decimal point. Now, of course, if we meet this multiplication problem in real life, we're probably going to use a calculator. We'll enter it into the calculator as 6.7 times 0.21. The 0 before the decimal point is optional. I like to enter it just so that it's easier for me to see the decimal point. And we get 1.407. If we can just do this on the calculator, why do we need to know how to do it by hand? The answer to that is, well, if you're entering this on the calculator, what kind of mistakes are you likely to make? You might forget to hit the decimal point. You might put the decimal point in the wrong place. You might enter digits in the wrong order or leave out some zeros. So you want to be able to get a good estimate of the result of your multiplication. So how would we estimate this multiplication problem? Well, we would round each number to have one non-zero digit, so we would round in 6.7. Well, that's about 7. 0.21. Well, that's about 0.2. And then 7 times 0.2. Well, 7 times 2 is 14. And then we want one digit after the decimal point. So we would expect that 6.7 times 0.21 is about 1.4. If I were to, for example, accidentally punch that in as 6.7 times 2.1, I would get something that's around 14, and immediately know that that couldn't possibly be right. So, why do we need to do this by hand even though we can do it on a calculator? We want to be able to predict about what our answer will be so that we'll know immediately if we've punched it in incorrectly.